Good morning, family and friends. How are you doing? It's a good day, it's a new day, it's our day, and we will enjoy this day. So I welcome you to the Woke Nation, our home, where we feel free to share knowledge, especially the knowledge of factual truth, knowledge about everything, where we speak what we know, not what we believe. So I welcome you, and I want to speak on what I titled God, Woman, and the Sex. So I want to throw some light on those three things. Some of the things I will say you have been hearing from me, but the more I speak, the more deep it gets, because the knowledge we have is infinite. It can never be dry out. So we keep flowing. That's why we don't hold it. We keep letting out and we keep getting back. That's how it flows. So, first, I want you to know that God is the serpent. The serpent that they tell us in the Bible, the old serpent, the old dragon, is actually God. God is the one responsible for biting people, killing people, drowning people, doing all the evil in the Bible. Remember, in the Bible, that's where they introduce God to us. Whether you call it Bible, whether you call it Quran, whether you call it Torah, or whatever book it is that any religion have, that's how they show us who their God is, although nobody has seen that God and nobody can see that God. So their God is a paper God. And I like the way somebody said that. I think Nemeka said that audio God. God is audio only. You cannot see God. It's not visual. It's audio. It's paper. So God is book and audio. You can read God and you can hear God, but you cannot see God. That God is non-existent, and that God is useless in reality. That's why it's only real in the book and in audio. But the audio they're attributing to God is their own audio, the voice of their conscience, the voice of their blood, the voice of their body, the voice of the universe. They say it is the voice of God. They cannot see. Why do I say God is the serpent? I found it in their book also, and I saw it, of course. Who is the one they say responsible for evil befalling people? They say, oh, God is punishing people. If you break the commandment of God, God will bite. That's what they say, like, if the hedge is broken, the serpent will bite. It's right there, I think, in Ecclesiastes or Proverbs. He said, when the hedge is broken, the serpent will bite. So when you break the commandment of God, God will punish you. God is the serpent. So stop saying devil is the serpent, because when you read your Bible, you'll find that God is actually the one doing the killings, not the devil. God is the one going after people. Who made Job to suffer? God. It's not Satan. It is God. All right. So in Isaiah 45 verse 7, God said he created evil. He did not say he created evil. He said he created it. That's he keep doing it. And at the end he said, I the Lord do all these things. He is the one doing them. Remember, he said, I am the Lord. That is my name. So he has no name, but he said his name is the Lord. The Lord is title, not a name. Okay, so he said he's the one responsible for all evil. He's the one responsible for all the biting. He's the one responsible for all the calamity, all the atrocities happening in this world, because religion created God, and God is the serpent that religion created. They created that serpent against the real serpent, the serpent of life, the serpent that represents resurrection. You know, when serpent raised, that's the real thing our ancestors used serpent for. So, but the religious people created the invisible God, who is the serpent that bites people. So he said he creates evil. Also in Isaiah 54, verse 16, that same God bragged that he's the one that sent destroyers to destroy. He sent the serpents to strike, to bite. Then see what he's saying in Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 17. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 17, it takes serpents to send serpents. He said, for behold, I will send serpents among you. So God is speaking to his people, to his believers. If you don't believe in God, that God does not exist, that God cannot do anything to you or for you. The God has no power. The power that God has is the one you gave to him through your belief. When you believe in God, you give your power to God. God is an abstract idea that needs human power to become anything, to do anything. God is an abstract idea. It's a concept. It's not real. It's not something or someone you can see or touch. God is not a being. God is useless. God is powerless. God cannot do anything without you. That's why even the Bible says God sought for a man. He's looking for witnesses, Jehovah's Witnesses, disciples of God, all that, because God himself is an abstract term, abstract idea. Is not a person, it's not a being that exists anywhere in heaven, anywhere in you, anywhere in any place that it can do anything. So don't live in fear of God. As I said earlier, that God cannot punish me. I said that yesterday, the video is there. God cannot punish me, and I'll tell you why. The God that cannot solve your problem, you believe that God can punish me. That's stupidity. God cannot punish me. Let me take it a little further. A God that needs your money to build his house, a God that cannot take care of his servants, the prophets, a God that still needs you to pay tithes and offering, that God is too useless to punish me, is too powerless to punish me. So God cannot punish me. Likewise, God cannot bite me. All right. So God is an idea, is a concept. That's why somebody came up and made up that concept of one God, God of all gods, or God over all gods and goddesses that our ancestors were worshiping. Akhenaten is the one that gave the world the concept of one God. No one has seen that God. It was in Egypt that God was made and abstract, invisible, because they created God. They say, okay, it's invisible, because people will ask questions. Where is the God you say that exists? Where is the God you say is in charge? They say it's invisible. But if that God is invisible and is almighty, he can be visible. So why can't he? Why has he not? Because God is man-made. Man made God. So for those of you Christians in Nigeria or in Africa, we are singing, I will never worship man-made God. Black people always sing that bullshit. Every God is man-made. Even me, who is God, I was made by a man and a woman. My parents are human. They made me. So every God is man-made, whether it's invisible God or visible God. Every God is man-made. I don't worship any God. So if you say you are not worshiping man-made God, but you are worshiping invisible God, you are still ignorant of what you worship. So here what God continues to say, he said, vipers, he said, for behold, I will send serpents among you, vipers which cannot be charmed. God is the viper of vipers. He said, and they shall bite you. Is exactly what is happening today. God has sent serpents, which you call men of God. They are serpents. They are pastors. Pastors are serpents. Popes are serpents. Apostles are serpents. Evangelists are serpents. Pastors are serpents. Whatever you call them, so long they come in the name of God, they are serpents. He said, I will send serpents among you. I will send ministers among you. Jesus said the same thing in Matthew chapter 23. He said he will send, let me see if I can read it for you to see. God saying we send serpents and vipers to bite you, to exploit you, to deceive and exploit you. And that's what his ministers are doing. Matthew 23, where is it? Going towards the end. Here, Matthew 23 from verse 34. Verse 34, he said, therefore, indeed, I send you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city. So the same way God sent serpents, Jesus said, as my Father sent me, so send I you. Remember, Jesus said you should be wise as what? Serpents. Serpents deceive and exploit people. That's what the ministers of God represent, all of them, from beginning to the end, even from the one that will still answer the call of God tomorrow. All of them are serpents sent by God to deceive and exploit people. Without you believing them, they will close up, they will go away. So God said he will send serpents and the vipers that cannot be charmed. You see, they cannot be charmed, all those men of God. You talk to them, they said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. They cannot be charmed. They are my serpents. I send them to deceive and exploit people. And when they deceive and exploit you, they turn you to wise, the son of devils that they are, the brood of serpents they are, according to Matthew 23, verse 15. That's why they can cross sea and land to convert people. They convert people through deception. And when they deceive you, they exploit you, because God is the serpent of serpents. God sends serpents. God sends vipers to exploit people, to deceive people. So do you understand now how they put it in the Bible? And they're telling you that the serpent is the devil. Why God is the serpent? That when they tell you devil is a liar, they are the one lying. Anyone that says devil is a liar, he is the real liar. Because according to the Bible, God is the liar. Genesis chapter 2, 16 and 17, and Genesis chapter 3, 1 to 11, read it. It is God who lied in the beginning of the Bible, and God still lying. Jesus said he's coming. He said, those standing where then we see him. Or he said, I come quickly, according to Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. Has Jesus come? No. But they put it in Peter. They said, no, 1,000 years. It's like it's one day. Okay, Jesus said, I come quickly. Quickly, so it's supposed to be, okay, just next day you will see me as soonest. But Jesus has not come more than 2,000 years now, and that lie is still there to show that God is the liar, not the devil. Not the devil as they tell you. God is the real liar, because God is the serpent sending serpent. Read it again. Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 17. God said he will send serpents and the vipers to bite you believers. The serpents only bite believers. The devil, God, evil God, only punish believers. God cannot punish people like me. Then the second one is woman. Woman is influential. When you are talking about the power, women have that power, or women have that power that is more than authority, but many women don't know it. That's why they're claiming feminists or trying to compete with a man. Any woman that is competing with a man is stupid. That woman is bringing herself down. And the reason why that woman is bringing herself down is because she don't know who she is. A woman that knows herself is always quiet when among men, because she knows she can influence the strongest man among them. And when she gets the strongest man among them, others will be under her. Do you understand that? It is woman that religion really hates. That's why religion killed women in their religions. Every religion, every major religion, look at them. They killed women among them because they know the power of woman. No matter how anointed a man is, no matter how you say God is using you mightily, a beautiful dancer will bring you down, because that dancer is greater than God. That woman is greater than God. Man created God to suppress woman, because man wants to see woman remain under. And that's evil. When you put woman under man, you are doing evil and doing evil. You're supposed to honor woman. Woman is influential. And every man needs woman, especially a wise woman in his life. A wise woman will always lift a man. A wise woman will always build her home. But the foolish one will always pull down the man. The foolish one will always pull down her home. But we need the wise woman like the Eve they put in the Bible. Although they painted Eve as evil, telling you that Eve is the one that was deceived and brought suffering upon man, it's not true. There is no woman that caused our fall. It is God that caused our fall. Religion created God that's still causing our fall to date. Believers are morons. Believers cannot invent anything for quality living. You have to remove religion for you to use your brain to invent anything in this world, to make anything meaningful, anything that is good for quality living. You have to remove religion first before you can do that. And religion gave us God, and God caused woman, right? Why did God cause woman? According to Bible, because woman opened the eyes of man and her own eyes. Woman always carries man along, but religion separated man and woman. Religion said to the man, if you don't hate your wife, you are not qualified to be my disciple. He said that woman is responsible for your fall. That's what religion taught us. And we put women under. Even many of us that are still that are awakened, we still have that struggle among us when it comes to women. But it's only foolish women that make us think so, because when you see how they run their mouth, speaking what they don't know, thinking that competing with men or being where men is what makes them woman. No, no woman, no woman. You have what is greater than authority. It is called influence. Why are you going for something that is lesser than you? Authority is lesser than influence. No matter how powerful a man is, no matter how strong, the man can kill the whole village. But when that man meets the woman he loves, he bows. It's not that the woman is using any magic, it's natural. We men and women are supposed to be living together, but religion brought that division among us, putting women down and putting men high. But we have to change it. Man and woman are supposed to be on the same level, although having different functions. That doesn't mean the man is the head of the woman or the woman is the lead of the man. No. Woman and the man, they are equal. There is no need for hierarchy. Man is higher than woman. That's bullshit. That you are stronger than the woman doesn't mean you are greater than woman. And remember, there's other areas the woman is stronger than you. Naturally, the woman can bear some pains. You cannot bear that. If you have it, you die. But the woman have it and still live and never even complain about that in the public, because they know how to absorb it. They have that ability in them. It's natural. That's why they are child bearers. No man can bear a child. No man can give birth to a child. The only thing a man can do is to impregnate the woman. See, that's why we need each other. There's no competition between a man and a woman. Where there is competition, that's the destruction of both of them. And that's what religion has done among us. That's what the society has done among us. That's what the spirituality has done among us. Both spirituality and religion hate women. They tell you, oh, if you are using this, you can't have sex with a woman. If you have sex with a woman, it will not work. That's bullshit. Anything that excludes woman from what men are doing, that thing is evil. That's why it is called cult. And that's why I'm against such thing. It may mean for good reason, but it's not working for the good of all of us. It can only work for the good of the few. But what will work for all of us need both man and woman. So woman is influential. That is the power that is greater than authority. You see, a man can kill the whole people because of a woman. Check all the wars that men have been fighting. Check behind it. There must be it must be because of a woman. The Second World War between, I think, Russia and the British. How did they start? A woman. The prince, one of the prince, the one that's supposed to be crown prince, but he said he give it to his brother. Then he asked his brother to recognize his wife as, you know, all that title. The brother said no. Then he went to Russia and joined Russia. That's how we get World War. And if you read the Bible, you see what men can do because of women. You don't even need all that. Look around you. You can see men fighting just because of a woman. A man go and make money, and he see one woman in the village. He want to get that woman. It doesn't matter who is in the life of that woman. He said, forget him, we get that woman. Religion hates women for that reason, because women have something that is greater than the power of God, something that is greater than the anointing of the Holy Spirit, something that is greater than the authority of men, and that is influence. Not because women are wicked, no. Not because they are greater than men, no. It is how nature made them to be. Just as men have power, authority, a woman don't have it like man. No matter how a woman try to be there, no. When you meet a man like her, that man will bring her down. It's natural. So, but we are not there to compete with. Competition is not good. Competition is deadly. Whether it's in our marriage, in our relationship between a man and woman, no competition, no comparison, no fear, no worries among you. Don't try to be what the man is or what the woman is. Just be yourself, and you will see how good we will live. Then let me talk about the third one, sex. Sex is the peace we have been praying for, and we never have it. Sex is for peace. Oh, you say, what are you talking about? I will explain. I will try, because this is the area that the world is secret society. They don't want us to know anything about sex. Do you know that since you were born, even before you were born, the world has been praying for peace, yet there is no peace? Why? Because the world hates sex. They spiritualize sex. They demonize sex. They say if you are not married and have sex, that is evil. That is sin against God. You have not sinned. In fact, some people believe that serpent, the apple that they said the woman ate, or the forbidden fruit was sex. Of course, religion forbids sex unless you're married according to their term. If not, they say you are committing adultery. They say you are fornicating. That's bullshit. It's religion that brought all that nonsense called adultery, called fornication. Yeah, spirituality, religion, that one that brought all that nonsense. Sex is supposed to be natural. Just as animals are having sex, that's how we're supposed to be having sex. And these people tell you that their God created man and woman and tell them to multiply. Did he tell them to marry there? No. Marriage is a people thing. It's a cultural thing. It's a traditional thing. It's not a natural thing. Marriage is also anti-nature. That's why when you meet a woman, you need to be with this. The culture of a people can separate both of you. And you see that man and that woman not having peace in their life anymore because they have missed that person they're supposed to be with. It's natural. That's why when you look at the way wise people use marriage, like, okay, see the story of Solomon in your Bible. Solomon was known to be of peace. He had a peaceful reign until the end. What they say brought trouble to Solomon. They say what? His foreign women, not his concubines, not his Jewish concubine, because it's a religious story. Right? But they tell you foreign women, which is division, bringing division among the people. Oh, you should not marry from that place. No, you must marry from here. So see, look at Solomon. Solomon had peace in all his reign. He reigned for 40 years, right? He had peace. I think it was called also the son of peace. I think so. Jedediah, right? Okay, I think his name means son of peace or something. There's peace there. Now, God gave him wisdom. God gave him wealth. And the wisdom that God gave him is the wisdom he used to marry 700 wives and 300 concubines. It was not a sin. It is still not a sin. But here what they say was the sin of Solomon. He said, strange women, strange wives. People from pagan nations, not whites from Israel. You see how they connected there? Because if you marry somebody from another kingdom or from another nation, you will not plot any evil against that people, against that nation. No king will go to war against the people where his daughter is the queen. So that's why Solomon married the princesses, 700 wives. They were all princesses. Solomon used that marriage to build connection, because some of you, I mean, most people think that marriage is all about sex. The main reason for marriage is for connection, family connection. It is only when it comes to you marrying a daughter or a son of a rich man, that's when you say, okay, I want to marry. No, it's not just that. If you marry in a family, you will be in peace with that family. If you hear people plotting evil against that family, even you are people plotting evil against that family, you say no, because you married from that family, or you married to that family. Solomon, the wisest king in the Bible, had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Women surrounded him, no wonder he had peaceful reign. Women brings peace until religion came and demoted women, turned women into wicked people. That today, even a one wife will drive a man's life to early grave, because religion mess women up. And when they mess women up, even to have sex today, is, I say, they created prostitution. Of course. Okay, you say one man, one wife, and you say prostitution is sin, you are evil. You that say one man, one wife, and forbid prostitution, you are the evil one. Because how can you say every man must marry one wife? It's only one wife. And the man have sexual urge. The wife is in her period, or the wife is not in the mood to have sex. She must have sex. And you see our women, you know, whether they like to have sex, they must have it. No. Understand who you are, woman. And we men and women should understand also the power of sex. We can use sex to have the peace we need, but even religion don't want you to have the peace. That's why they create war. You marry from England, you will not attack England, but do you know that you or England can attack you, or you attack England in the name of religion? Just religion will blindfold you, because religion says you have to hate your wife, hate your brother, hate your father, hate your mother, hate even yourself for you to be a good disciple. Sex can bring peace the world needs, but politics and religions will never allow it. They will never allow it. That's why they tell me, oh, this is the age of sex, the age of marriage. You have to be, before they make 7 years old woman can get married, 10 years old woman, and many people don't even understand that. When they say 7 years or 10 years or 8 years or 12 years old woman can get married, it doesn't mean she start having sex that time. Many of you don't know that. And when you hear that a man marry multiple wives, not because the man is fucking like a dog. No, and have you seen any dog that fuck every day? No, but all those things are what they use, the terms they use. They say, oh, because you just want to be fucking women, that's why you want more than one woman. No. You can marry multiple wives to make yourself rich. You can marry multiple wives to make yourself happier. It's not all about sex. At least today, you see, we are using some herbs or some drugs to be performing. It has nothing to do with, it's not all sex. How long will you have sex naturally? It doesn't last. It's understand marriage first. Marriage is a cultural thing. Marriage is a business. You see a woman that says he loves you because you have something. When that thing disappears, that love disappears because it's emotional. How many beautiful women will marry a poor man who is ugly? Have you seen them? But they can marry a rich man who is like, let me not use any animal, who is just ugly. But they say, ah, it's love, it's love. But a handsome young man that is poor, they say, will I eat love? Because they have changed us. The sex can bring the peace. When we begin to intermarry or marry one another, right? Among us, it will bring peace among us. The religion has come because wherever religion comes, it brings destruction, not death. Religion does not bring life and death. No. Life and death are natural things. They are good things of life. life and death. I mean, good things of nature that we are supposed to enjoy. Life is death. Death is life. Death is not a bad thing. Death is not evil. Death is not the end. Death is part of nature that we're supposed to embrace and celebrate. The same way you celebrate life, celebrate death. Stop saying all that painful exit and all that nonsense. Death is not evil, just as life is not evil. Life is good, says death is good. That's why we should trash God, because God is the God of war. God of war through government authority. See what he says in Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 7. He said, God put those who are in authority. They do not bear their sword in vain. A God that cannot control the world. He gave the control of the world into wicked men, according to Job chapter 9, verse 24. He sits in heaven and laughs at the plight of innocent people, according to Job chapter 9, verse 23. Then in verse 24, has given the control of the world into the hand of wicked men, blinding the eyes of the judges, sentencing innocent people to jail, and promoting wicked people in places of honor. And you say, why all this trouble? Because of God. God of war. In the Bible, it says Jehovah is the man of war. The Lord is his name, the man of war. And the same Bible tell you that he makes the war cease. No way. God cannot make the war cease. Politicians can never make the war cease. Religious leaders can never make the war cease, because that's how they thrive. They come to destroy. They come to steal, to kill and destroy. They are serpents. God sins among the people. See the religious war. Apart from the war, the government fight, all those in authority. A religious war. The Christianity versus Islam war. It can never end. Jesus said, Christians say, it's Jesus. Jesus is the Lord over all. Muslims say Allah is Allah. No, there is no other God but Allah and this Prophet Muhammad. Bullshit. That war among people, you see people, the same color, the same place, but they are divided and destroying themselves in the name of religious war. War without end. How about Christianity versus Judaism? That's another war many people are not talking about. Christians say it is grace. By grace are you saved. Jews say it is by the law. And both of them say they believe in God of Abraham. All of them, three of them, the Abrahamic religions, they believe in God of Abraham. One said that God is Yahweh. The other one said that God is Jehovah. The other one said that God is Allah. And the one that said God is Jehovah said that the God of Abraham that the Muslims worship as Allah is evil, is demon. The two, they don't call Yahweh bad. They say, okay, no, Yahweh, because that is their source. So I'm calling on you, my family and friends, wherever you are, go through what I just said about God being the serpent and the woman influential and says for peace. You will understand what I'm saying. I'm not that educated for you to, for me to give you a source of authority. No, my brain, which you can apply with your life. When you have sex with a woman, how do you feel? Tell me the truth. Stop talking bullshit. But the religion want to separate you from woman in the name of God. But you need to trust that God. Honor woman. Enjoy sex. Especially you black people. It is time again we honor our black women as our ancestors did. Worshipping them as goddesses. When I say worshipping, respecting them. We respected our women as goddesses. Not just as women. Goddesses in their homes, people that brings us forth. Without women, we not be here. We cannot multiply without women. So we're supposed to honor women, not God. Don't honor God. Religion asks you to honor God. No. Oh, they tell you to honor your father and mother in the Lord. No, you don't need any Lord to honor your father and your mother. You honor your mother and your father, but you know, religion we have today has exalted the father. How about the mother? They say, our father in heaven. Where is our mother in heaven? They said, they say that God is a he. How about the goddess that's supposed to be she? If God created things, why can't a goddess also create things? But remember this, just as no man can make anything with life in it without a woman, no God can create anything with life in it without a goddess. Understand? That is simple fact, and it's a factual truth. So trash God, honor woman, and enjoy sex. Sex don't supposed to be costing us as it's costing us today, if not for wickedness of men who came and brought those commandments. There is no love in commandment, whether it's commandment of God or commandment of men. There is no love. When I say talking about love, I'm using that religious term love, but I'm talking about caring for one another as we're supposed to, naturally and humanly. But you can think or you stink. Think for yourself or keep thinking as society and the religion want you to be. You have the will and the power to change those things. Trash God, honor woman, and enjoy sex. Peace.